Greetings and welcome to this edition of
Positronic.
I'm Barry P. Cook. I'm here to talk to you about the Sony showcase that was just held yesterday. Sony brought out all their big guns for the coming year in terms of games, and I wanted to just talk briefly about a couple of the games, a few of the games that I thought were the most noteworthy and that I am anticipating the most out of all the games that they showed yesterday. And I want to start with Spider-Man 2. A couple years ago, we got Spider-Man, and then we got Miles Morales, both great games. And now we're getting Spider-Man 2. And I got to tell you, it looks really cool. They didn't show a trailer, they showed about 12 minutes of gameplay. And it just looks fantastic. Graphics, the graphics are looking great. Kraven the Hunter looks cool as hell. And Spider-Man in this game is going to be wearing the symbiote suit. And it gives him a bunch of crazy new moves that players will be able to use playing this game. It just looks super, super fun. He's, of course, joined in the game by Miles, and it looks like you're going to be able to switch between them. I don't know if it's at will or only at certain story points, but you're going to be able to switch between them, which is cool. Because you have to push a button, so it's not passive. It's something that you actively do, so that's what makes me think it might be an at will kind of thing, but I'm not sure. Anyway, they've introduced new mechanics into the game as well, not just new moves. And by that I mean you're going to be able to do stuff in this game that you couldn't do before in terms of traversal. It looks like, for one thing, that you're going to be able to make some good use of Spider-Man's ability to glide, Miles' ability to glide anyway, with those little spider wings that Spider-Man sometimes has in the comics. And that's pretty cool. Also, and probably the coolest thing, and it's actually not something I remember seeing in any other game, is the way that you're going to be able to transverse the waterways of New York in this game. They've set it up so that you can now web swing way out into the waterways using, cranes and various other structures in the water, boats and whatnot, which you couldn't do in any of the Spider games up to this point that I can recall. You could go across the bridge and you could dive into the water off off the pier or whatever, but then you can only get so far out before you would automatically be jumped back to dry land. And that was always something that I thought, well, gee, there's this big, huge body of water and you can't traverse it. You can't, you can if you use the bridge, but you can't, swim across it. You can't swing across it. And anything that looks interesting that might be out in the water, you can't get to. And I always thought that was a disappointment. But now you'll be able to transverse the water. And again, I don't know if it's something you can do at will, because what they showed was Spider-Man traversing the water while being pursued or in pursuit of something. And so it might be, only certain times that you're only allowed to do it at certain points of the game. But I'm hoping that it's not. I'm hoping you can swing out and explore the waterways independently of any particular mission or sequence. But it remains to be seen. But not only that, but you can sort of surf your way across, web swing or web grab onto, for example, a helicopter, and you're kind of skiing across the water while you're fighting off enemies or chasing an enemy. So I think that's pretty cool. That's something they haven't done in these games before. So I'm looking forward to playing those sequences, even though I know I'm going to have to repeat them over and over because I'm going to die repeatedly trying to do whatever it is you're supposed to be doing. Keep up with the helicopter or avoid being killed, or both at the same time, it looks like, as well. Because your Lizard is in the game, and you're trying to save him from being killed by Kraven, but he's also against you because he's feral and he doesn't know that you're trying to protect him. And so you're both trying to protect him and try not to be killed by him at the same time. So I think it's going to be crazy. And story-wise, I think there's some good stuff, because obviously the symbiote suit wasn't the best thing that Peter ever put on, to put it mildly, and that's going to be part of the story. So that'll be interesting that they're going to explore that. Totally looking forward to Spider-Man 2, which, if I'm not mistaken, comes out in the next few months. So that's going to be great. The next super cool game that I'm most looking forward to is Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake came out a number of years ago. It was a little bit different than the games that were coming out at the time, which made it really, really cool. The story was great. The, action was great. It just was a really great game. There was a whole aspect where, the bad guys could get you in the dark, so you had to use light as part of your, means of getting around without being killed. So that made it tricky. So it was really cool. And I've been waiting for Alan Wake 2 forever. And they showed a trailer for it. And it just looks really, really cool. And, they don't tell you that it's Alan Wake 2 at the beginning. You kind of have to figure it out. And right before the end, it dawned on me, this is Alan Wake 2. And I just let out a big yes when I realized that that's what it was, when they put up the title card. So I was just stoked to play this game, to see this game, go out and play it. That's going to be
right up your alley.
Awesome, and you should check out the trailer. And if you haven't played Alan Wake, the original, you should definitely play Alan Wake, the original game. It's really, really cool.
So you knew Al Victim?
Only the rumors. He was chasing a writer.
Someone knew they were here. Was playing a game with them.
The killer left a message.
It's for us. The text is about us.
We were all trapped in a horror story. The horror story wanted us dead. There's something I'm forgetting. Something important. Something's not right!
Easy now. First things first. What's your name?
The next game that I was psyched to see footage from, finally, official footage, was Assassin's Creed Mirage. We saw a trailer or a teaser a while back, but they showed some more footage which showed off some of the gameplay. And I'm happy to say that this game looks, first of all, fantastic graphically. It takes place in Baghdad, which it just looks real in this footage. And based on the gameplay that they showed, it looks like this is going to be a return to form for Assassin's Creed, which I think is a good thing. I thoroughly enjoyed Valhalla. I thoroughly enjoyed Odyssey, and even Unity, which was a different take on Assassin's Creed. But those, the last two that came out, Valhalla and Odyssey, were really Assassin's Creed games in name only. They were super cool, very fun, excellent games that were nothing like Assassin's Creed that happened to have the name Assassin's Creed on them. So this new game, Mirage, is going to be, like I said, a return to form. It's going to be an Assassin's Creed game proper, from the looks of the footage that they showed. So I'm looking forward to that. I think I'm going to enjoy playing that again, even though stealth missions very much frustrate me because I stink at them. And it looks like they're, putting a healthy portion of that back into this, which wasn't really the case for the last couple of games. But I'm very much looking forward to that. That's going to come out this fall as well, if I remember what I saw correctly. So that's cool.
The stage is yours, Basim. We will be watching.
And, I'll be streaming gameplay for all of these games once they come out, on Twitch mostly, and maybe sometimes on YouTube. But either way, you know, you guys can watch me play these games when they come out. You can watch me get my ass kicked repeatedly, which is always fun. So we all have that to look forward to. Of course, you know, Sony also introduced Metal Gear Solid, I guess Delta, which has a subtitle of Snake Eater, which I find a little confusing because Metal Gear Solid 3 was called Snake Eater, if I'm not mistaken. I may or may not play this. I really liked Metal Gear Solid 2. It was the like one of the first PlayStation 2 games I ever played. I had never played Metal Gear Solid before, and I really liked it. But then as I started playing more games, I realized that I like other styles of games better than I liked the Metal Gear Solid or the Metal Gear type of gameplay. So, because when I went back to try to play like 4 or 5 or Sons of Liberty, whichever that one was, I was like, why did I like this game? So I don't know if it's necessarily going to be for me. We'll have to see once it comes out, and you know, once more of the gameplay becomes available to look at online. And you know, of course, they mentioned and showed footage from a bunch of other, I would call them more whimsical games that don't necessarily appeal to me, but that look like they might be cool for someone who likes whimsy a little more than I do. And you know, you can of course check out the whole showcase. The video is online. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check out the whole showcase. But I just wanted to come on and talk about the few games that I'm super excited about and really looking forward to. And now that I've done that, I'm going to get out of here. I will be back, of course, with another video soon. Until I return, I wish you peace and long life and happy playing.